following is an unpaid preview for a game seeking funding on Kickstarter. The product seen here is a work in progress and is subject to change during the duration of the project.
Hello everyone, I'm Ferdinand the Garbage Sacker, and welcome to the Kickstarter preview to Or the Mining Game. Yes, it is a rough prototype copy, but it is a worker placement game about getting these metals, ores, gold, trying to fulfill contracts, and trying to buy buildings. So let's go ahead and get a little deeper into Or.
Or the mining game is a worker placement game. Your goal is to score the most points by constructing building cards, completing contracts, and making money. For those not familiar with worker placement games, in Or you have a number of workers that will be placed in open areas on the board in which you'll execute an action. If there's an opponent on one of these spaces, bad luck, and you'll have to place your worker elsewhere. One of the main features of Or are the mine spaces. While multiple workers can be placed in a single mine and by other players, only a single space can hold a worker. If you obtain a drill token, you can start either on the second or third space instead of starting on the first space as a worker normally does. These miners collect the precious ore after all players are done placing their workers. Each worker collects the number of the type of resource on the mine and then they move down. If they happen to move to a location that is level 2 or level 3, they must have a required mining card in order to proceed. If not, and if they're the lowest worker in that mine, the mine is considered to be exhausted, and all workers are returned to their players and a new mine takes its place. After mining, players will have to fulfill all their contracts. For each contract, the player places resources on the top line of the contract and receives the money as reward. If they fully complete a contract, they return the resources to the supply. Then they take the contract, which will be used as victory points at the end of the game, and they may have an opportunity to play a building card. If a player cannot fulfill a contract, that contract is discarded. Building cards will either cost in money or in resources. They are one of the ways to gain victory points and may even give a special action. The players will only have 7 rounds to take advantage of the board actions and be efficient with their spending. After the final round, the points are tallied and the winner is the player with the most points.
Alright, so here are my impressions of Or the Mining Game. First of all, it is, I would say, a light worker placement in the lines of Stone Age, and it's very easygoing where you could place your workers in there and what you can get. Also the structure of the phases of the game of just now you mine, now you fulfill contracts, then repeat about 7 rounds. Not too long. I would say it's going to be about roughly an hour as you would play a game. An interesting mechanism in the game for me was the mining. When you put a guy on the space, you can have to put him in the first spot. Or if you have gotten a drill token, you can put it either second or third spot. You can jump guys there. You can't have guys in the same level, of course, but you can also try to get deeper into the mine, getting the deeper levels so you can get even more of the resources in there. And in order to get that, you have to get licenses, and these things you don't have to pay for it. I did a strategy where you don't have to get those tokens in order to get the money. You just have to have your guys in there, try to get resources, and try to fulfill contracts that way. You don't really have to. It might be better for some people in their strategies, but it was really cool to have not a lot of your guys. And I guess the important thing I want to say is that it does take one of your workers out of play until they actually come back. Now you can pull them out, but it will cost you. But I do like the fact that you don't have to get one of these, but that's at least how I do like to play. And I do want to cover that the 2 main ways of getting points in the game, and that is trying to score for buildings, and the other one is to score for contracts. So fulfilling contracts, you go through the mine, get the resources, you have to pay them. They're kind of like time sensitive because if you aren't able to pay them, then you will lose them and you won't get it. But you can still get the money in order to pay for buildings, and buildings are probably one of the better ways of getting points, at least in my opinion. and you can either pay by resource or by what was the other resource or by money, of course. So, and they will go there and they give you a small little bonus action in there. So those are the two main ways of scoring in the game. And that was a quick look at Or the mining game. So if you are interested in the game, you can go ahead and check out the Kickstarter if this is something that you like to support. All right, thank you for joining me in another Kickstarter preview. I'm Ferdinand, the Cardboard Stacker, and remember to keep on stacking games.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos on board and card games. This is the Cardboard Stacker, and remember to keep on stacking games.